The time that I spent with this show is embarrassing, man. The Secret Life of the American Teenager, man. Airing from 2008 to 2013 with 5 seasons that I have binged not once, but twice. What was I doing, man? I remember when I first saw this show, because I ain't watch it when it was on. It was 2015, our cousins was living with us. They was watching some type of movie on Netflix. I ain't care about it, didn't look at the screen. I don't even think they was paying attention, because the movie turned off. Right after that, The Secret Life snuck its way in, man. It played 5 full episodes before anybody caught wind of what was going on. And when we caught it, we couldn't take our eyes off. From that point on, all the way to the end of the summer of 2015, bro, I was stuck watching that show. And it's crazy because I thought the show was stupid. Nothing but a bunch of stupid nonsense going on. Everybody sleeping with everybody talking about everybody, but I couldn't look away, man. I had to keep watching. I had to find out what was going on. And like I said, I did this twice. And I don't know what to do with this information that I've acquired from watching this show. So today, I'ma spill it all to y'all, man. With that being said, let's get into it. Now, before we get into the story or what could have been and whatnot, we need to talk about the characters, man. And dear Lord, is this a crazy set of characters, man. First up is our protagonist, Amy. I feel like the best way to describe Amy is a good girl with an attitude problem, man. When you get the good girl side of Amy, you get a kind, sweet, fun, just overall lovable little chick, man. But let her get irritated off of one thing. She immediately switching personalities, man. Now you got a selfish, irritating, childish little girl, man. And it's weird because when she cool, she one of my favorite characters on the show. I know a lot of people don't like Amy, but I like her when she cool. But when that attitude come in, oh my goodness, she is annoying, man. Now that attitude is kind of understandable in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? She pregnant at 15, going through all of these changes and whatnot. It's understandable to pop off every now and then. But you'll think after a couple of seasons, they'll let her grow out of that and mature. And she does mature. She becomes more responsible. She's not as bratty. She's not as annoying, but it's still there. And it irked me. Next up, we got her baby daddy, Ricky, aka the best character on this show, man. Easily the best character progression. Going from a little playboy delinquent into a respectable and responsible young man. Bro heard he had a baby on the way and stood 10 toes down on it, man. Now, by all means, he ain't perfect. He still got a temper, and some old behaviors still pop up from now and then. And just like Amy, he can be childish too. But I can say that for all of them because they still, yeah. Then we got Ben, a nerdy, goofy, weird, but overall good dude, man. But I will say that he lives in a fairy tale. He ain't got that much experience when it comes to real life situations. And in that fairy tale, he believes things are supposed to work a certain way and feels a sense of entitlement to certain outcomes. And when things don't go a certain way, he crash out. Ben is undoubtedly the biggest crash out on the show. There is no debate. The only person giving him competition is Adrian. And Adrian is just a mess, man. Like this chick do too much, man. She mess around with everybody. She manipulative, crazy, play games way too much. Just an overall headache. Like nobody got time for this. Right next to her, we got her best friend, Grace. A happy little Christian girl that quickly spirals out of control, man. And last but not least, we got Jack. And then we got Tom, aka the MVP of the show. But yeah, though, those are the main characters. Other than that, we got Ashley, Amy's little sister. She cannot make facial expressions to save her life. Their mom and dad, Ann and George. Amy's 2 best friends who don't know how to shut up. And yeah, I would mention other people, but they are irrelevant. Let's move on to the story.
Watch ABC Family's all-new Mondays all summer long. And Monday on the hit sensation Secret Life.
The story of A Secret Life is everywhere, to be honest. If I had to think about a central theme that pulled all of these stories together, it'd be sex. That's exactly what this is, sex, the show. Because literally everybody messes with everybody in this show, man. They collect bodies like Pokemon cards, man. Except for Amy. Literally the only person in the main cast to only have one body. Clap it up for Amy, man. Clap it up, clap it up. But of course, through all the characters that's messing with each other, the one that remains the core of the story is Amy and Ricky. A love story that's been built up from season 1 to 5. And I want to talk about how I feel about this storyline because, to be real, it was the only reason why I continued to watch the show to season 5. And I know I'm not alone on that. But before I do that, I feel like I gotta catch y'all up with a brief summary, just to make sure we're on the same page. I will bring up Ben and Adrian when they need to be brought up, but for the most part, Ricky, Amy. Y'all ready? Let's go. The main story kicks off with Amy and Ricky beating each other at band camp. Ricky run game on Amy, got her pregnant, and then went on his way to mess with Adrian. Amy, being pregnant and scared, finds Ben, who comes in as the little savior in his fairy tale. Finds out she's pregnant, and then tries to marry her. And hold up real quick, let's get into this. This is exactly what I mean when I say living in a fairy tale. Straight goofy behavior, man. You find out your girlfriend is pregnant by a whole nother dude. You only known this chick for a couple of weeks, and the first thing you do is try to marry her? If you don't get off your knees and get up out of there, man, and your daddy should have told you that, but he encouraged it, so he goofy too. You are 15 years old, you just met this chick. The last thing that you need to be doing is trying to play stepdaddy, getting in the way of this chick's baby daddy issues, man. Leave her alone. Dude be making slick remarks too, talking about Ricky ain't gotta know about the baby. Him and Amy can raise it together. Man, if you don't go somewhere, I don't like that, man. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Go somewhere, man. And we soon found out his words mean nothing to begin with. But let's continue. Ricky found out about the baby, but he still continued to play games until a couple of people smack him into reality. He starts to take more responsibility, and as a result, he talks to Amy more, which gets Ben jealous, and he ends up breaking up with Amy. And for the first time since band camp, Ricky and Amy start to think about each other. Eventually, Ben comes back, Amy has the baby. As a result, Ricky is around way more often for his son, but of course, Ben gets jealous, and he ends up flying off to Italy, cheats on Amy, comes back, breaks up with her, and once again, Amy and Ricky start getting closer. Ben eventually comes back again, but then him and Adrian catch Amy and Ricky out of context, and chooses the only logical answer, which is cheat on them with each other. Adrian ends up pregnant, Ben and Amy break up officially this time, and Amy and Ricky officially start pursuing each other. And they get the ball rolling quick. They start going out, she eventually moves in, they start messing around again, and during Ricky's high school graduation, he proposes to her. While this is happening, Ben is having his crash out arc, obsessing over Amy, being a weirdo, all while they build up their marriage up until the final episode. Just to ruin it all. They ruined it. Amy and Ricky break up in the final episode, after realizing that they were indeed moving too fast. But all that build up for 5 seasons, just to ruin it in the final episode. And then the tease that Amy and Ben might get back together, of all things, no, I don't like it. I don't like it because one, Ben is a crash out. We know this. He talk all this fairy tale crap, but as soon as he don't get what he want, he crash out. And Amy know this too. If we all to tease that in one of the final scenes, it feel like we just reverting backwards, man. Second, Amy and Ricky is 2 of my favorite characters on this show, and that was one of the only couples that didn't completely get on my nerves every time they popped up on screen. Not only that, but they were the only couple that made each other better by being with each other. When it comes to Amy, she doesn't talk as crazy to Ricky like she did with Ben, because unlike Ben, Ricky don't play that, and I respect it. And when it comes to Ricky, with the 3 relationships he's been in throughout the show, the only one that got him to change was Amy. Adrian didn't want him to change, she wanted him to be exactly where he was at. Grace wished he would change, but nothing came of that. Amy told him to change, or she wasn't gonna mess with him. That's the difference. She made him a family man, he got her to grow up, it was beautiful. But then, of course, they went and ruined it. But apparently this is not how the story was supposed to end.
And she lived happily ever after.
A couple of years after the show ended, the show's creator came out and gave final conclusions to the characters. So in her words, after Ricky and Amy break up and she shoots off to college in New York, just as they hinted, she gets back with Ben. But not for long. They quickly realize that what they had is long gone, and they go their separate ways officially this time. And after a little minute, Ricky and John eventually pack up and move to New York to be with Amy. They fall back in love, they get married, all that, yeah. And that's cool and all that, except for the Ben part, that shouldn't have happened. But other than that though, that's cool. But the issue is, it wasn't just the final episode that was trash, the whole season 5 was boo-boo. Matter of fact, their story started going downhill right after Ricky proposed. The end of season 4 and the entirety of season 5 felt like they was just dragging their knuckles through the dirt, with the same things being said over and over and over. They were delivering their lines like they hate life, like can't nobody smile, man. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm not accepting that ending. Matter of fact, I made my own ending, where I basically rewrite storylines from season 3 to 5. Now, I'm not about to get into extreme detail. I am not trying to be here for a whole hour. I ain't got that time. I am not one of them YouTubers, man. But I do have bullet points. We gonna bullet point this thing. We gonna get this done, and we about to make it ending 10 times better than the original. And we gonna start it all off with the proposal. I'm gonna take the proposal from season 4 and move it to the series finale. I feel like the proposal happened way too quick. Ricky from the jump was already against them getting married in high school, and although he was graduating, Amy was still in there, and them speeding it up might have ruined it. Instead of the proposal, Ricky's graduation speech can instead be about him declaring his love for Amy. Talking about how Amy changed his life for the better and made him into the man he is that's standing on that stage today. And just to continue my thing of slowing things down, I'm taking Amy moving in with Ricky from season 3 and making it an overarching arc in season 4. Something that doesn't immediately happen, but it eventually happens. I feel like just slowing down their relationship and just let it take its place naturally would just make for a better story overall. Everything else Ricky and Amy do in season 3 can stay, but her moving in, let that come later. The marriage talk, let that come later. Now, Amy wanting Ricky to propose is still going to be a thing. Instead of that being something that only happens for a couple of episodes, that's going to take place from the graduation speech all the way to the end of season 5. With her desiring that, you can cause a little turmoil right there. You know what I'm saying? Just she'd be questioning why Ricky don't want to do it right then and there, while he's consistently telling her that he wants to wait it out, get out of high school. And just to make it more interesting, we're gonna throw more episodes of John in there. Cause I feel like after like season 1 and 2, John just become like a prop. Like they'll carry him around, they'll mention him every now and then, but like he just there. Like have an episode about John's terrible twos. Have an episode about John being scared of the dark or something. An episode where John gets his first real fever. Have an episode where they take John to another kid's birthday party and they feel awkward because they're the only teenagers there with a bunch of adults. Have the story remind you they are indeed teenage parents. The 5th thing to add, throw more holiday episodes in there. Like I would love to see a Halloween episode where they take John trick-or-treating for the first time as a family. Or a Thanksgiving episode where it could be like a concept episode where everybody comes into one house. The whole main cast comes into one house. I'm also getting rid of 2 character arcs. The first one being Ricky and Ashley because ew. And the second one is Anne being a lesbian because why? The only thing the arc did was make Amy way more annoying than she already was, man. And speaking about Amy, the next thing I'm getting rid of is her bratty attitude, man. It makes no sense how she was way more mature in season 3 versus 5. She was doing good, she was maturing. Let it continue. Next thing I'm getting rid of on this show is Amy not being over Ben. In my story, Amy is completely over Ben. It's done. Let her move on, man. She with Ricky. Let that story continue. Let that story thrive. We don't need to move back into the past, man. And speaking on Ben, the next thing, let Ben move on. Now, I'm not saying immediately. I'm not saying get rid of his little obsession thing that he had going on in season 5. But in the final episode, let Ben finally realize that what he had with Amy is long gone. And he needs to move on. No matter what he feels at this moment, he needs to find the way to move on. His story could end with him going to college in New York, going around, finding his classes and whatnot, and then he run into a girl that instantly sparks up something that gets rid of his thoughts of Amy. Let him grow. Now with Amy going to New York, I'll let her go. The only difference is, John and Ricky is immediately going with her. There's no breakup and then eventually they go over there. They go over there with her and start their new lives in New York. Now the creator also added an extra plot point for Ricky, where he starts a restaurant with Leo. Now I say take that idea from the future and move it into season 5. Ricky can start off hesitant to move to New York with Amy, but then Leo comes and he mentions to Ricky that he wants him to run a restaurant down there. That gives them stability and also is a catalyst to them officially agreeing to move to New York. And now that we gave the relationship a proper setup, we added some interesting stories in there, we get to the final episode where Amy graduates. She stops nagging Ricky about getting married right when Ricky is ready to do so. Now we can still have the scene of the main cast in the hallways of the school. The difference in my story is I will bring about the Avril Lavigne song Girlfriend, but this time as a piano ballad for the final goodbye of high school. Everybody takes their time walking down the hallways, looking at certain spots, reminiscing, having flashbacks. Everybody walks out the door one by one, and the last person to walk out will be Ben, who, as I said previously, will in that moment finally let Amy go and allow himself to move on. He walks out the door, the screen fades to black, and with that, we finally get to the proposal, where Ricky takes Amy to band camp, where he has a whole scene laid out. He proposes, she says yes, all of that, and the final scene will be Amy, Ricky, and John, packed up and ready to leave for New York. And if you want to throw just a little bit more spice in there, you know what I'm saying? Have one of Amy's final words of dialogue be hinting to the fact that she's pregnant again. And they walk out their apartment, starting a new life. And that'll be the end of the series. Now, I don't know about y'all, but these bullet points already sound 10 times better than the actual story that was told. But yeah though, that's gonna be my headcanon, my personal headcanon, and I'ma just ignore the final season. But yeah though, overall, I still enjoy the show, you know what I'm saying? Is it goofy? Yes. Is it cringy? Yes. But I still enjoy the show. I mean, I'm currently rewatching it right now. This ain't the best show, it ain't the best written show, but if you want entertainment, American Teenager got it, man.